Welcome, everybody, to our Knicks postgame show. What a final preseason tune-up for the Knicks. Frank Ntilikina, Alfred Payton, Dennis Smith Jr., Austin Rivers all sitting it out. So Immanuel Quickley had 22 starting. Mitchell Robinson, 8 points and 12 rebounds. And Reggie Bullock had 17. Knicks as a team go 15-29 from downtown and blow out the Cavs tonight, 119-83. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Wally Szczerbiak. And again, we say hello to Alan Hahn, who joins us from his home studio. Alan, I don't know that Tom Thibodeau thought coming into the preseason and then with the regular season beginning on Wednesday that Immanuel Quickley would be in the conversation and maybe start at point guard, but that's exactly where we are right now, aren't we?
First of all, Alan, smile. The Knicks just won by 40. Let's go. Come on, get the pom-poms out. There it is.
I was waiting for Bill to finish because I was going to just start laughing because the other day I tweeted my kingdom for a point guard. And maybe one has emerged, and I guess I've lost my kingdom, but that's all right because this team has been looking for one for a very long time. And maybe Immanuel Quickley, who told me a couple of weeks ago after he was drafted, and I said, "Are you a combo guard? What are you?" And he said, "No, I played point guard. Now, I didn't play that at Kentucky, but that's what I am, and I'm going to show that I am that." And anybody that's paid attention to Tom Thibodeau and his all of his press conferences, he raves about Quickley. He has quickly fallen in love, no pun intended, with this rookie, and you can see it already with the way he's been playing him and the opportunity he gave him tonight.
If you're a coach, Wally, and you're looking at this, how do you know what we've seen here may, in fact, be the real deal?
You can just tell by how a guy moves out there on the floor. That's a big part of being an NBA player. He looks poised out there. He makes quick decisions. He makes logical, simple decisions. And he handles the pick and roll very, very well, which you have to do as a point guard. Plus, he has good size for a point guard. And sometimes you get pigeonholed a little bit as to he's 6'3", so he was more of a shooting guard in college. So there were a lot of question marks whether he could play the point guard position. If he plays the point guard position, he's a big point guard at 6'3". That's great size to be a ball handler and to be a lead guard in the NBA. And you look at these plays that he's making. I mean, he just looks like he was a natural-born passer. And you also go along with the way he shoots the ball and with the way he reads pick and rolls and makes good decisions. People talk about decision-making being so important for young players and making the right decisions at the right time, not turning the ball over. He looks like he has that down pat as a young player, and he has room to grow. It's pretty impressive the way he's played the last two games.
And, Alan, you look at the impact that Quickley has had on Kevin Knox. It's been amazing. Knox the other night in the fourth quarter had 14 points, and tonight, playing predominantly with Quickley, he went for 20. Knox hit 6 of 7 from downtown.
Yeah, and that's the thing, he's in rhythm, right? He doesn't have to create for himself. That's where he struggles when he's got to think or put the ball on the floor. When he's just in rhythm, he's been so much better, and that's what you find. You know, I say this all the time. Point guards unlock certain players, and maybe they've unlocked Kevin Knox with this type of play when you just kick it out and he's shooting in rhythm. Or maybe it's the Garden rims, right, Wally? Because in Detroit, he was 0 for 5, but since he's been at the Garden, he's 9 of 12 from downtown, including 6 of 7 in this game. And you see when that shot goes down for Kevin Knox, every other part of his game just starts to have confidence. He says it himself, too. It's about maintaining that confidence, and it also, you start to see it more on the defensive end, which for him, well, that's the final frontier for him becoming a regular player.
We've talked about the three-point shooting. Before tonight, the Knicks 21 of 90 from downtown, whether it was Quickley distributing the ball or whatever the reason behind the improvement, it was astounding. The Knicks 15 of 29, Wally, from deep.
Yeah, and you know the Knicks aren't going to shoot that poorly. 21 for 90 is pretty bad. And they were also the first couple games in the preseason, they were learning a new system, learning a new coach. They were really focused on the defensive end of the floor. So I imagine training camp was all about defensive rotations, defensive shell drill, and they weren't really getting into a rhythm with their offense and a rhythm with their shooting. Since the fourth quarter, 2 nights ago, when they were absolutely on fire from deep, specifically Kevin Knox, it looked like that kind of fed everyone else. Everyone started to relax from the three-point line. You know, shooting becomes contagious. Knocking down three-pointers become contagious. I was just so impressed with the way the ball moved tonight. everyone was playing unselfishly. Iggy Brasdeikis, when he got in the game, he got an opportunity to play. He made really smart basketball plays. Might not have scored a ton, but he passed the ball very well. He played very unselfishly. The core of this team, the way they're playing, and the message that the coaches are sending to these guys is to make each other better, and all these guys are really getting it, and hopefully it carries over to the regular season.
Regular season opener, Alan, Wednesday at the Pacers. We're on at 6:30. Alan, I didn't mean to interrupt, but what are the challenges now for Tom Thibodeau here to come up with rotation when a lot of these guys, Austin Rivers didn't play at all, Smith's banged up, Ntilikina's banged up, Elfrid Payton's banged up. We haven't seen Alec Burks because of personal reasons. How's he going to hone in on a rotation?
Yeah, that's not going to be easy. It's a good problem to have if you feel like you have too many choices, right? And we weren't sure about the talent, how much talent he'd have to work with on this team. We knew it'd be young talent. But just to piggyback off quickly what Wally was saying there, Reggie Bullock wasn't making shots from three. Now he started making shots from three as well. That's an important area for them to unlock this season if they're going to be a competitive team. But remember, the NBA expanded the rosters to 15 this season, so you have those extra 2 spots. Now, Pinson and Harper are two-way contract guys. You don't have to worry about them. They don't count against that 15. So you about have 4 players that are battling for the last 2 spots. And you mentioned Brasdeikis. He's certainly going to be one of them. We saw Amari Spellman the other night, Wednesday night. He's going to be battling for a spot there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who does get those extra spots and what type of impact they're going to have. But I think, you know some of the vets are going to play. That's just going to happen. I think the bigger question is, has Tibbs seen enough out of the young players to feel like maybe I go with the younger guys and we have the vets as supplemental? I mean, Julius Randle played very well tonight, by the way. As mentioned, another guy that didn't take a lot of shots, but had 8 assists. But by the way these young guys played and how much energy they play with, I'm curious to see how much and how many of them play on opening night.
And that's, again, on Wednesday. R.J. Barrett also, we haven't mentioned him. He's had a very consistent preseason. He had 15 points, played very well again tonight. When we come back, we're going to go to the Wally Wall, take a closer look at some of the great plays tonight. And Tom Thibodeau's got to be happy with what he saw tonight from Immanuel Quickley and the rest of his bunch. His post-game comments coming up.